New shark sightings from Cape Cod to Florida, shutting down beaches. Take a look at this new video. A shark in Florida there catching a wave with surfers. No, thank you. Victor Akendo is in Miami Beach with the very latest on this. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Cecilia. One of those surfers here in Florida clearly falling off his board at the wrong time. The danger lurking all the way up the East Coast. Officials in Cape Cod forced to shut down several beaches because so many sharks were spotted near the coast.
This morning, a California family still in shock. Their Bahamas vacation taking a horrific turn. Officials telling NBC News it's believed this tiger shark attacked 21-year-old Jordan Lindsay. The California college student died after suffering devastating injuries, her right arm torn off and multiple bites to other parts of her body. Her father saying in a statement she'd been snorkeling with her mother before the attack. My wife tried her best to get her up to the shore, but unfortunately, Jordan lost too much blood.
Paige Winter is one amazing teen.
I want people to see that I'm doing all right. I'm going to be able to walk. I'm going to be able to write. I'm going to be able to do just kind of like everything, just same old Paigey.
Just last week, the 17-year-old was at the beach in North Carolina when the unthinkable happened.
There has been a shark attack. There's somebody in the water bleeding.
Paige was swimming when she was suddenly pulled underwater, attacked by a bull shark.
When I was in that water, I was like praying. I'm like, I'm 17. I got so much to do.
Paige lost her left leg above the knee, as well as 2 fingers on her left hand.
The death of a child is never an easy story to tell. A family on a Disney World vacation losing a top tragic alligator attack. The outpouring of grief, the resort's response. ABC's Gil Benitez has the latest.
We recovered the remains of the 2-year-old from the water.
The 16-hour-long desperate search for the 2-year-old boy attacked by an alligator at Disney World has come to a heartbreaking close.
It was a tough message to deliver to them, to let them know that at this point their child is dead.
That little boy has now been identified as Lane Graves.
We are terribly heartbroken at this outcome.
I have a gigantic alligator sitting in my kitchen, a huge one.
Clearwater, Florida resident Mary Wachusen got quite the wake-up call around 3:30 Friday morning. An 11-foot alligator broke into her home through a low kitchen window. The first 911 call came in just minutes earlier when Patricia Pecora, a newspaper delivery driver, spotted the perp when it was still outside the home.
When I approached further closer, he was already then laying in the walkway by the front door.
The unwanted visitor spent an hour inside the house before being taken out by trappers.
Now to a pretty scary incident at Yellowstone National Park. It was caught on camera. A young girl now recovering after being attacked by a bison. Eva Pilgrim here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, guys. This little girl and her family were doing what so many families do during the summer, visiting Yellowstone National Park. They were part of a bigger group that had been standing near that bison for some 20 minutes with no issue when out of nowhere the bison came running.
terrifying moments for a group visiting Yellowstone National Park. A bison just feet away, charging its target, a 9-year-old little girl. The 9-year-old from Odessa, Florida, was part of a group of about 50 people who were visiting the Old Faithful Geyser area Monday afternoon. You can see in this video the group walking on a nearby road. The bison only 5 to 10 feet away. All of a sudden, you see it move, running toward the group, tossing the little girl into the air. A 59-year-old woman from California was among a crowd that got too close at Yellowstone and was gored by a bison.
It happened so fast, but it seemed like it took forever. It was the most frightening experience I have been through in my life to date.
Port St. Lucie toddler recovering in the hospital after being attacked by a dog. This happened this week while she was visiting her aunt in Melbourne.
She will be okay, but we want to warn you, her scars are very tough for any parent to see. News Channel 5's Erica Rayco spoke to the little girl's family.
Alyssa's definitely a fighter. She's a very strong little girl.
For this fight, Alyssa Bartoletto's aunt is by her hospital bedside. She was with her Wednesday, standing right next to her when the 3-year-old was mauled by a dog.
She was definitely a trooper. It happened so fast. I never would have imagined, that even could happen like that.
Alyssa and her aunt stopped at a friend's house in Melbourne. Her family says the friend's dog ran out the front door and grabbed a hold of Alyssa's face. Alyssa was airlifted to Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital in Orlando and rushed into surgery to repair her fractured skull.
We're grateful that she's alive, but we're still not out of the woods yet. We need a lot of prayer that she doesn't get any infections and that she just has a speedy recovery.
About animals doing strange things, and I believe that's what prophecy foretold about animals getting aggressive towards humans. Aggressive animals where there didn't used to be. Not only domestic dogs, but some of the wild critters out there have started acting really funny. Now, there's been a lot of reports about animals doing strange things.
The river was just swimming with snakes, and yesterday I saw a river rat.
Oh, no way. While flooding is, of course, a major concern over the next few days, it's not the only thing people need to look out for. You heard that. Snakes. The city of Fort Smith says with the high waters, turtles, river otters, and unfortunately, snakes will be looking to go to higher ground.
Yeah, officials with poison control tell us because waters like this are now rising, people are ending up with snakes in their yards.
About this big around and about that long.
Donna Stacy walked outside her Shawnee home Wednesday to find a snake on her car.
Because I caught one in my bedroom several weeks ago when we had that first big storm.
Officials warning residents the slithery creatures are on the move.
As the water has increased in areas, it's been driving the snakes out of their usual habitat.
And that means snake bite reports are rising.
We have seen about a 25% increase over last year in terms of the number of bites.
Around 15 of those in just the last couple of weeks.
We have one basic type, and that's they're called pit vipers, and that's the copperheads, the water moccasins, and the rattlesnakes, including the pygmy rattlesnakes, they all can pose a threat to your limb or your life.
A lot of the times showing real strange potential for aggression. I've noticed my male horse attacking my female horse. I've noticed my male dog here, he is just, sometimes he's like out of his brain.
What led two pit bulls to turn on their owner? The body of 22-year-old Bethany Lynn Stevens was discovered a mile from her home in rural Virginia, where she had taken her two pit bulls for a walk in the woods. The idea of dogs turning on their master was considered unthinkable, and rumors quickly spread on social media that Bethany had been murdered. But police took the unusual step of showing reporters photos of the gruesome scene to prove without a doubt her dogs did it.
There were no strangulation marks. The victim had puncture wounds in the skull, and this was not a homicide.
A New Jersey woman survives a vicious coyote attack in her neighborhood, and tonight she's speaking out about how she was able to fight the animal off as it kept biting her. CBS 2's Rena Roy has more from Mawa.
Multiple bite marks all over her body and 14 puncture wounds in total, all from one vicious coyote.
It was biting me on the back of my thigh, and it started biting me. It wouldn't leave me alone. It just kept biting.
Doreen Latarja Entrup was on a peaceful stroll down Grenadier Drive in her neighborhood Friday evening when the animal suddenly charged right at her.
And I turned around again to assess the situation. I thought the coyote would be gone. And to my shock, it was like on my bottom.
She says it got onto its hind legs, almost as tall as her, and began ravaging her body.
I was scared because I didn't know what else could happen other than the puncture wounds. I didn't know if it would just latch on and not let go.
But the 53-year-old mother of three put up a good fight. As it was biting and following her down her neighbor's driveway here, she was able to make it inside the garage and luckily find a baseball bat in the nick of time.
She has a bucket of sticks and bats and sports items, so I grabbed the bat and I hit it. I hit at it with the bat, and it moved away,